Hi, I'm Bob Warren. I manage the cleanup program's Northwest office.
My name is Sandra Matthews, and I am a geologist, hydrogeologist with the Toxics Cleanup Program. I am the team lead for affordable housing cleanup projects in the Northwest Regional Office.
Our focus in the cleanup program, of course, is to clean up contaminated sites. A lot of our work is driven by development up here in the Northwest office. This is an area where developers are busy buying contaminated sites, cleaning them up, and developing them into large structures, skyscrapers and big businesses. And in doing so, it pushed people out of those neighborhoods, and they couldn't afford to no longer live in the neighborhoods where these large developments were occurring.
There's an environmental justice component to it, because usually people have to live with these blighted properties in their neighborhood. And then when a developer comes, they're usually a for-profit developer, and they develop the property, and then they price the people who live in the neighborhood out of the neighborhood.
So I sat down with an attorney to build an affordable housing program where the state of Washington would help fund the cleanup of these contaminated sites, thereby reducing the risk for the developers and reducing the cost for the developers. And we did this as long as they would agree to also build affordable housing for the communities.
We pay for this cleanup so that you can build housing, and then the affordable housing has to stay affordable for at least 30 years. That's one of the requirements of the funding source as well.
The Maddux project was our pilot affordable housing project. It has 2 or 3 different contaminated sites within the Maddux footprint. An old service station, gas station, an old mechanic shop, part shop, a dry cleaners, and other activities that contaminated that area. It was basically an area with boarded up windows and buildings that weren't being used, and contaminated soil and groundwater. And yet it was an area that was just prime.
Mount Baker light rail station is 2 blocks away, and there's a Sound Transit hub a half a block away. There's grocery stores and drugstores and hardwares really nearby, so that person who lives there doesn't necessarily have to have a vehicle, but they can still have access to all the amenities that a city would have. So it's super exciting, because usually cleanups take 25, 30 years. And this project started in 2016, and here we are in 2023, and we're pretty close to being done. So it's super exciting. They were able to excavate the soil in the areas where the buildings were built, so they could build the building and clean material. Now the buildings are almost ready for people to live in, so it's fantastic. There are over 200 units available for people to live in, so it's great.
I like the cleanup program because we work hand in hand with the communities. We ensure that the community is involved and engaged in the work that we're doing. And it's exciting work that we're actually getting contamination out of neighborhoods, so people don't have to live with the contamination around their residence anymore. The vision is that this program will continue to grow, and we're starting to see that now. Yes, we have a lot of development occurring in the Northwest area, and we're supporting a lot of affordable housing projects here, but we're going to start seeing them occur also in Pierce County and the southern portion of Washington State. We're also starting to see some interest now in the eastern portion of Washington State, and hopefully we'll be able to support and encourage development of affordable housing in those neighborhoods also.
I feel proud and happy. And one of the things about Maddux is I bought my first house in that neighborhood. It's like 3 blocks away from where that project is. And it's so different now because it's just changing. There's development everywhere. They're building big buildings everywhere in that neighborhood, and not all of them are affordable. So it's pushing a lot of people out, but this project keeps people in.